We watch movies just for entertainment, but Iranian movies are not just for entertainment. You know very well how full of morality these movies are. Today, I will tell you the story of an Iranian movie that can change your life. The movie is called Sparrow Spring. Everyone should watch this story at least once. After watching the entire video, you will understand why I say this. At the beginning of the story, a picturesque village surrounded by mountains is shown. The city's mechanical hustle and bustle hasn't reached here. This is the village's only school, and he is the only teacher at this school, and his name is Abdullah. He tells the children that a writing competition will be organized in a few days. Children from all primary schools in the city will also participate in this competition. Those who write the best essays in the competition will be awarded prizes. The teacher explains to all the children, "You might think that the city kids are far ahead of you, but this is an essay competition. All you need is a notebook, a pen, and your thinking ability. I want each of you to write an essay and submit it to me next week. Try to write your essays based on the real knowledge of your lives." After school, this little boy was waiting for his father with his sheep in his arms. This boy's name is Pervez, and he is one of the main characters in our story. Pervez hears the sound of his father's motorcycle from afar and looks towards his father. The bike stops in front of Pervez, and his father tells him to get on. As soon as Pervez gets on the bike, it suddenly stops. His father tries repeatedly to start it by kicking it, but the bike doesn't start. Pervez's father gets off the bike to check the problem, and Pervez stands by. His father looks very frustrated. Despite many attempts, he can't get the bike to start. He then starts pushing the bike and tells Pervez that it's becoming increasingly difficult to pick him up from school every day. Hearing this, Pervez stands there quietly. As his father moves a bit ahead, Pervez starts walking again, and the sheep also following him. This green village nestled in the mountains would captivate anyone's heart. This is Pervez's mother. Seeing that her son is upset, she asked, "Did your father scold you again today?" Pervez replies, "No." Pervez then asks his mother, "Mom, did you go to school?" His mother says, "When I was little, I liked going to school, but after getting married, I couldn't continue my studies." Pervez says, "Surely, Dad didn't let you study." His mother replies, "Nothing like that. Life takes a different turn after marriage. But I have no regrets about it. I raised you, and now your sister. All my happiness is with both of you." In the meantime, Pervez's sister starts crying, and his mother leaves to tend to her. Pervez stands there quietly for a moment. Then he goes to his mother and asks, "So why didn't Dad study?" His mother says, "Your father didn't like studying very much. From a young age, he wanted to live in Tehran. He always wanted to go to the city. So, when he grew a bit older, he went there. But he couldn't stay." Pervez asked, "But why?" His mother explains, "Your father grew up in this green village surrounded by mountains. He couldn't endure the noise and hustle of the city." Pervez sits down next to his mother and says, "Mom, I don't understand what to write for the school's essay competition." His mother says, "Write about those things that you like." Pervez says, "Give me a suggestion." His mother replies, "I don't know. But you can ask your father." Pervez says, "Dad always treats me badly." His mother explains, "Your father works very hard for the family. And you know he's going through some financial difficulties right now. He's worried about everything. So, don't misunderstand him." Meanwhile, a gentleman is working on his farm, and his son is standing beside him with a notebook in hand. The boy asks, "Dad, why do we farm at this time of the year?" The father replies, "Every task has a proper rule and time, be it farming or studying. If you don't do things at the right time, the results will never be good. Just like if we don't sow seeds during the rainy season, there won't be any crops." The boy is taking notes for his school's essay competition. This boy's name is Amin, and he is Pervez's best friend. That night, Pervez is standing quietly on the porch of his house. His mother comes and tells him to go to sleep. He then asks her, "Mom, why can't I be like Amin?" His mother asks, "How is he?" Pervez replies, "Amin is very brave and good at studying. He isn't afraid of anything." His mother then says, "We are all equal. If you try, you can also be like Amin. Now go to sleep quickly." The next morning, Pervez is giving their sheep food, while his father heads out to work. Pervez's father is a forest ranger. Last night, some smugglers tried to cut down and steal ancient trees from the forest, but they fled because of the rangers. Pervez's father looks at the trees with regret and says, "People will do anything for money. This forest is a part of our world. These trees also have life." He then asks his colleague about the eagle they found yesterday. His colleague informs him that the eagle is not in good condition. Pervez's father says, "Then I'll take it home today." Pervez's father is an honest and nature-loving man who loves this forest dearly. Meanwhile, Pervez is petting his sheep and talking to himself that he won't be able to write an essay. His mother comes up from behind and asks, "You haven't written your essay yet?" Pervez replies, "Mom, what should I write? I don't understand anything." His mother says, "You can ask Amin for help." Pervez says, "They have gone to play on the hill." His mother replies, "Then why are you sitting here?" In the next scene, Pervez is seen running towards the hill. His friends have created a hangout spot at the top of the hill where they come to play every afternoon. One of Pervez's friends asks him, "Have you written your essay?" Pervez replies, "No, my mind doesn't work." Another friend says, "It never does." Hearing this, Pervez feels a bit embarrassed. Then the friend says, "I can give you some magazines. You can look at them and write an essay." Upon hearing this, Pervez gets angry and leaves. Amin also runs after him. The following day, Pervez and Amin are sitting in the back of Amin's father's pickup truck, waiting for their teacher. Their teacher goes to the city to visit his family every weekend. Amin's father is cleaning his truck and waiting as well. Pervez tells his friend Amin, "I couldn't write the essay." Amin asks, "But why?" Pervez replies, "I don't know what topic to write about." Amin says, "You could have asked your father for help." "I asked my father for help." Pervez replies, "Whenever he sees my books, he gets angry, and I heard from my mother that my father has a lot of debt. So, he hasn't been in a good mood lately. He doesn't even talk to me properly." Amin says, "You could have told me 2 days ago. We have to submit our essays to the teacher tomorrow." At that moment, a white bus arrives and stops there. Teacher Abdullah gets off the bus. Pervez and Amin immediately run to him. Amin's father also greets the teacher and says, "You are a very good person. The teacher before you in our village school used to leave early before the weekend and said, 'It's a long way.' And he came on Saturday and went to school late. It always seemed like he was waiting for the weekend. He was not honest in his work at all." The teacher smiles and says, "Let's go now." They all head towards the village together. The next morning, Pervez runs out of the house to go to school. He first goes to Amin's house to call him, then they walk to school together. Pervez tells Amin that his father won't send him to school next year. He says it's enough to know how to read and write. Amin asks, "Should I tell the teacher to talk to your father about it?" Pervez replies, "No, that would make him even angrier." Amin asks Pervez, "Did you write your essay?" Pervez says, "No, I didn't. I couldn't think of anything." Pervez asks, "Did you write yours?" Amin replies, "Yes, I did. It's in my bag." Just then, one of Amin's aunts calls him from behind. Amin asks, "What happened?" His aunt says, "Your mother isn't feeling well. Come home quickly." Amin hands his bag to Pervez and says, "I don't think I can go to school today. Please submit my essay to the teacher for me." Then Amin runs towards his home after his aunt. Pervez stands there quietly for a moment. The scene changes and we see Pervez. He is sitting in his classroom. He thinks something for a while and then takes out Amin's essay from Amin's bag and pulls out an eraser and pencil from his own bag. He then erases Amin's name from the notebook. Just then, one of Pervez's friends calls out to him, "Why don't you play football?" Pervez replies, "I won't play today, my leg hurts." In the next scene, we see Pervez attaching a new piece of paper on Amin's notebook and writing his own name on it. Meanwhile, Amin's mother is in very bad condition and is being taken to the city by ambulance. Amin's father is repeatedly calling out to God. Pervez's mother is also there, but young Amin isn't speaking to anyone. The ambulance heads towards the city, and Amin watches it leave, and then his gaze goes a little far. And we see Pervez there. Pervez has hung Amin's bag on a wire fence and is running away. Pervez doesn't have the courage to approach Amin today. In the next scene, we see Pervez at the hangout spot on the hill where they have hung some inspiring quotes. The first one says, "Strength makes man honest." The second one says, "Great men of the future." Pervez stands there with a heavy heart because what he did today is the exact opposite of these words. The next day at school, a child is reading out some lines to everyone. The lines go like this: "There is nothing better than honesty in this world. Dishonest actions weaken a person. Neither society nor people like dishonest individuals. And the truth never loses. A person's greatest enemy is their own lies. Lies destroy a person, so we must always act honestly." While the child reads these lines, we see Pervez with his head bowed. When the reading is finished, the teacher praises that child. On that evening, Amin comes to Pervez's house. Pervez quietly comes out from his room. Amin has brought his horse with him. Amin tells Pervez, "Today you submitted my essay to the teacher. While writing the essay, I promised my mom I will study as much as I can. I promised her that I would study hard and become a real engineer." Pervez remains silent, and then suddenly says, "I want to tell you something. I did a very bad thing yesterday." Amin asks, "What did you do?" Pervez tries several times to speak but can't say it anymore. He tells Amin, "I'll tell you later." The following morning, Perviz's mother was telling Perviz's father, "Don't scold Perviz so much. He is getting distant from you." But Perviz's father doesn't respond to this. He tells his wife, "I will take Perviz to the forest tomorrow. You go to your sister's place with the baby." Perviz's mother insists, "Perviz has to study, don't take him there." Perviz's father replies, "We'll just release the eagle into the jungle and come back. These birds are the beauty of the sky, but smuggler want to keep these birds trapped in their cages." Perviz's mother says, "You worry so much about the forest and the birds, but the forest department doesn't increase your salary for it." Perviz's father says, "These are creations of God. I don't care about money for taking care of them." Upon hearing this, Perviz's mother leaves from there. Meanwhile, we see Perviz trying to write a letter for Amin in a notebook. He writes, "Dear Amin, I made a huge mistake. I erased your name from your essay and wrote my name instead. Then I submitted it to the teacher as my own. Please forgive me. I was too ashamed to ask for your forgiveness." Perviz keeps writing repeatedly and tearing up the papers. It seems like the writings are not coming out the way he wants them to. Just then, his father comes in. Seeing all the torn papers, he scolds Perviz and says, "I told you 1,000 times not to crumple the paper. Use a pencil instead of a pen, so you can reuse the papers. Don't you know how many trees were felled for that paper?" Perviz stays silent. Then his father tells him, "Tomorrow we'll go to the forest together when you return from school." Perviz says, "But," his father interrupts, "No buts. What I said is final. Now, focus on your studies." He pats his son on the head and leaves. Perviz sits quietly for a while, feeling down. Then he starts writing the letter again. In the next scene, we see Perviz going to school. The children are playing football in front of the school, but Perviz goes straight to the notice board. This is where the children attach their poems, stories, and drawings. Perviz takes the letter he wrote for Amin out of his pocket and attaches it to the notice board. Then, after a moment of hesitation, he takes the letter back down and walks away. Meanwhile, we see Amin, who has a high fever. He is lying with his head in his grandmother's lap. The next day, Perviz's father is ready and calls for Perviz. Perviz's mother comes there. Perviz's father says to her, "Don't worry. Today isn't Perviz's first time going to the forest. He's been there before." Perviz's mother says, "I still worry about both of you." Perviz's father lovingly pats his little daughter and starts the bike. By this time, Perviz also arrives, and he also adores his little sister, and gets on his father's bike. The bike rides along the forest's dirt road and stops at the forest ranger's office. Perviz waits outside for his father. After some time, his father comes out of the office. From a distance, he sees his son sitting lost in thought. He comes closer and asks, "What's happened to you?" Perviz remains silent and does not answer. His father says, "Your teacher also mentioned that you have been inattentive in class for a few days. If something is bothering you, you can tell me without hesitation." Perviz says to his father, "May I say something?" His father replies, "Go ahead." Perviz asks, "Did you have a best friend?" His father takes a deep breath and says, "I had one. His name was Ibrahim. He was killed by the forest bandits a long time ago." Perviz asks, "Did you two ever fight?" His father says, "Yes, many times." Perviz asks, "How did you make it up to him?" His father replies, "If it was my fault, I'd apologize to him like a man. Everything would be fine after that." His father then asks his son, "Have you had a fight with a friend?" Perviz stays silent. Meanwhile, Amin's mother is brought back to the village from the city. She is much better now. On the other hand, Perviz enters the dense forest with his father. The forest is silent except for the occasional calls of birds and deer. Perviz's father points to a spot and says, "These are deer footprints. Just before we arrived, a deer was standing here. It left as soon as it heard us coming." Perviz is very curious. His father then makes a deer call with a leaf between his hands. A real deer answers from the other side of the forest. Perviz's father repeats the call, and again the deer responds. Perviz is amazed by this. His father gives him the binoculars and points to a direction, saying, "The deer went that way. If you look closely, you can see it." Sure enough, Perviz spots the deer through the binoculars. He then looks up at the sky and starts watching birds. He is fascinated by everything. Perviz's father moves a bit ahead and calls him. Perviz asks his father, "Why didn't you show me all this before? I could have written about it in my essay." His father replies, "You have seen nothing yet. When we go to the depth of the forest, you'll see the footprints of bears and leopards. Come on, we have a lot to do." The scene changes. Perviz is sitting on their balcony with a pensive look. His mother is spinning thread on a wooden spinning wheel to earn some extra money. His father is busy repairing his old motorcycle. He is very frustrated with this motorcycle. He tells his wife, I'll sell this and buy a pickup van if God wills. His wife asks, why do you need a pickup van in this situation? Perviz's father replies, 2 poachers came to me today. They offered me a lot of money to not interfere with their work. His wife says, you want to buy a pickup with that money? Perviz's father responds, you know very well, I will never earn money through dishonest means. Perviz's mother gets up and says, I know that very well. The next morning at school assembly, the teacher tells the children, I have 2 pieces of good news for you today. The first good news is that our school is receiving many gifts from the government. These include notebooks, pens, microscopes, and lots of footballs. Hearing this, the children cheer and clap excitedly. The teacher continues, the second news is even better, one of the essays from our essay competition has been nominated for an award at the district level. The children cheer again. The teacher asks, can you guess who wrote the essay? Each child starts calling out different names. The teacher quiets them down and says, Perviz wrote the essay. The children are ecstatic, but Perviz feels very shy and keeps his head down. That evening, Perviz sits down to dinner with his family. Suddenly, his father says, I heard you'd be going to town for the contest. Perviz replies casually, yes, I wrote an essay. His father, full of pride, says, you are just like me. His mother chimes in, no, my son is like me. Perviz's father tells him, listen, we men have to prove everything through our actions. Just then, they hear someone shouting outside. They run to outside to see Amin's aunt calling out to Perviz's parents, saying, Amin left at noon. He hasn't returned yet. Don't you know where he is? Perviz tells his father, give me a torch. I know where Amin is. His father says, I'm coming with you. Meanwhile, we see Amin quietly standing at their usual hangout spot on the hill. Everyone arrives there. Amin's father starts scolding him, your mother is sick, why are you giving her more stress? Perviz's father calms the situation and takes Amin away from there. Later that night, while Perviz is doing his homework, his mother comes in and says, tomorrow, you and Amin will go with your father to the forest to collect wood. Perviz replies, but dad doesn't like cutting trees. His mom explains, your dad will bring back only the dry wood. He never takes more than what is needed. The next morning, Perviz and Amin go deep into the forest with Perviz's father. It's Amin's first time in the deep forest. The 2 friends sit down to rest at one point. Amin says, if we could bring all our school friends here, they could see the beauty of the forest. Perviz replies, I've also thought about that, and I talked to my father about it. He said we'd need permission from the forest office and would have to submit an application. Suddenly, Perviz asks Amin, what did you write your school essay about? Amin says, about this forest and agriculture. Perviz says, tell me more about your essay, I'm curious about it. Amin starts explaining, the main occupation of the people in our village is farming. We have fertile land for cultivation, but the amount of cultivable land is reduced because of this forest. That's why people are cutting down these trees. In my essay, I wrote about how we can farm without destroying the forest. I got this practical knowledge from my father. Perviz's father then lets the kids hear the call of a wild rhinoceros. Amin is thrilled and says to Perviz, your father's job is very honorable. You must have written your essay about your father's work, and that's why you're going to win the prize. Perviz remains silent. The scene shifts to the day Perviz is going to the city to receive his award. His parents and friends, including Amin, come to see him off. Perviz's father hands him some money and says, keep this safely, you might need it. This is the first time you are going away from us. When I was your age, they took me to another province for wrestling competitions. My dad tied my shoelaces tightly and said, look me in the eye and promise you will make me proud. Anyway, travel safely. The car starts moving, driving through the green village towards the city. Meanwhile, Amin sits with Perviz's father, watching him work. Suddenly, Amin asks, may I ask a question? Perviz's father says, go ahead. Amin asks, you really don't want Perviz to continue studying? Perviz's father smiles and says, did Perviz tell you that? Amin replies, yes. Perviz's father then says, when I was your age, I had many dreams, but I didn't reach many of them. But I want Perviz to fulfill his dreams. I want Perviz to study very much. I want both of you friends to achieve great things in life. This kind of negative thoughts about him by his son, Perviz's father takes a deep breath. He then pulls out his phone, and says to Amin, call the teacher and ask if they have reached the city safely. The next day, at the award ceremony, children from various schools have gathered together. They are being given awards in different categories. The teacher calls out the names of the children, and as each one goes up to receive their award, everyone applauds. The award ceremony continues in this manner. Now, Perviz's name is called, and he wins first place in the essay competition. Teachers call him to the stage to receive the award. After receiving the award, the teacher tells him, "Stay with us and tell something about your essay to your friends." Perviz now continues to say the same things Amin told, saying, "Our village has little farming land because it is in the forest. In my essay, I write about how forest soil can be used for agriculture." Perviz's words are broadcasting through the mic, and at that moment, we see Amin standing quietly behind all the children. Then, addressing everyone's goals, the teacher says, in his essay, Perviz wrote the name of the most fertile soil. Can anyone tell the name of the most fertile soil? If someone can, they will get the prize. However, no one present knows the answer to this question. Perviz is also scared because he does not know the answer to this question, because he stole this essay. Now the teacher tells Perviz, "Now you say the name of that soil." And right then, Amin raises his hand up to save his friend, because he knows the name of that soil. The scene changes and Amin is standing with suppressed anger. At that moment, Perviz approaches him, asking Perviz, "Who did you come here with?" Amin says, "We came to take my mother's test result. I thought I would see you. I will now go to see the horse race. You can come with us if you want." Saying this, Amin leaves from there. Perviz stands there with the award in his hand. He feels very guilty about himself today. Meantime, the horse competition has begun. The horses are running with all their might. Perviz and Amin are watching it with great interest. Amin's father had explained what to say to which. Amin had seen the dream of watching this horse competition. Fulfilling the dream, these two children are very happy today. The scene changes, they have returned to their village, but Amin does not talk to Perviz. Perviz trying to talk with Amin in many ways. He also tells Amin, "I will tell everyone in school tomorrow, I stole your essay." Amin says, "Forget all this. I don't want to talk to you about this." But Perviz still cannot forgive himself. He wakes up from sleep with a nightmare. In his mind, he remembers the words spoken at school, "There is nothing better in this world than honesty. Bad deeds weaken people. Society and people do not like bad people. Man's biggest enemy is his own false words. False words destroy people, so we must always do good deeds." Perviz can see the reflection of each of these words in his own life. In the next scene, we see a child going to every house in the village and saying, "Parents meeting at school tomorrow. Teacher has instructed all the parents to attend the meeting." On the other side, we see Perviz and Amin. Their teacher has also come there. Basically, Perviz has told everything to their teacher. The teacher tells Perviz, "Don't be sad anymore. It has happened now and you mustn't upset yourself." Perviz then says to Amin, "I wanted to apologize to you many times, but I couldn't. If my father finds out about this, he will kill me. I'll do whatever you say." The teacher then tells Amin, "What's done is done, and we can't undo it. But your friend is very remorseful for his actions. He is deeply saddened. In our society, very few people feel remorse after making a mistake. And if someone seeks forgiveness for their mistake, they should be forgiven. Even God is pleased with this." The scene changes, and today is the day of that parent-teacher meeting. The teacher addresses everyone, saying, "Today is a very proud day for this village because of Perviz's achievement. I request Perviz to come forward here to say something for everyone." Perviz steps forward with a diary in his hand and begin to speak, as he looks at his own writing in the diary. "I am Perviz Nikui, son of Omran. You all know my dad. And you also know how much he loves his work. I am very proud of my father. I have many friends in this village, but my best friend is Amin. And let me tell you that Amin is not just my best friend, also he is my brother, because he forgives me for many mistakes." The essay for which I received the award, Amin actually wrote it. Perviz now gestures to Amin to come to him. With Perviz's straightforward confession, everyone applauds. Perviz again seeks forgiveness from his friend. Amin says, "I have forgiven you." Perviz then hands Amin the deserved award. Both children have a smile of peace on their faces and everyone present applauds. And with this scene, the story of the movie concludes right here. I have nothing more to say about this story, but I'd like to reflect on some aspects of it. There's nothing better than honesty in this world. Dishonesty weakens people. Society and people never prefer dishonest individuals, and truth never loses. The biggest enemy of humans is their own spoken lies. Lies destroy people, so we must always strive to do honest work. So friends, that's it for today. Please let me know how you felt about this story by commenting. Stay well, stay healthy. Goodbye for today.